That's page number 13. To repeat the introduction to Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, written by a great saint lived in 1980s. I have never heard about him. Saint Mawgan, M-A-W-G-A-N, in Pydar, P-Y-D-A-R, Cornwall, C-O-R-N-W-A-L. I don't know where is it. We should have added a little more. Maybe very well known at that time. Okay, all right. Coming to paragraph number 20, page number 13, I will read out. There are many obvious similarities between the early Buddhism and the message of the Yoga Sutras. Yes, the Noble Eightfold Path, which I referred to in my earlier videos, closely resembles the message of the Yoga Sutras. Yeah, of course. That Eightfold Path are nothing but 8 limbs or spokes of yoga and 8 stages or jnanas or wisdom of Buddhist meditation, and they are practically the same as the stages of samadhi. There is a concept of samadhi delineated, described in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Okay? Many of the crucial terms of the sutras are also found in the Buddhist canon.
14 hours.
The cause of suffering or klesha, they are frequently referred to as the 4 virtues of friendliness, compassion, happiness, and impartiality, etc. Okay? The adjective unbounded or shunya and the expression the state of unclouded truth, okay, etc. This will be coming in the Yoga Sutra. At that time, I will expand a little more. So this is normally when you write an introduction to the book, it will carry contents of the book also. So this is in a way, especially what you call that eight what you call causes of suffering. So what I repeat, causes of suffering here, friendliness, interesting, compassion, karuna, happiness and impartiality, very interesting, very important in today's world. A lot of people must be suffering from their, what you call, friendliness with others. And another percentage because of their compassion to people, which I have suffered, so-called, but I don't care any suffering. I don't even feel suffering. Then happiness is opposed to suffering, very brilliant. So that's why most of the rishis lived a very mendicant life kind of a thing. The Zen masters lived in a way that they just eat when they are hungry and drink when they are thirsty, kind of drink, eat and simply sleep. So when there is happiness, there is the potentiality for suffering also. And impartiality, that also can be a cause of suffering, okay? Which most of the modern jurisdictions are celebrating. So anyway, if you help all kinds of people, just like that, treat everybody the same way and all that, it can cause potentially some issues that may end up suffering. Okay? Then, that's all. And impartiality. So cause of suffering, once again, friendliness, compassion, happiness and impartiality. Then there are concepts like unbounded and the state of unclouded truth, etc. in the, what you call, where? In the Eightfold Path in the Buddhism. Okay? So moreover, the whole atmosphere of Patanjali Sutras is one of an assured and tranquil lucidity reminiscent of the classical Buddhist scriptures. So it's all great language about normally somebody who writes an introduction to this kind of a book would be tempted to adopt, that's all. I also have that tendency, but it is very contained. In my books, definitely there is this kind of languages also. Now, page number 14 is with a diagram, which it's a photograph. Page number 14, the photograph is this. All right. Now, and page number 15, it continues. Moreover, the whole atmosphere of Patanjali Sutras is one of an assured and tranquil lucidity reminiscent of the classical Buddhist scriptures. Okay, very good. Scholars have taken such parallels as proof that the sutras were heavily influenced by Buddhist teachings. It is more fruitful to see them as indications that both sets of texts drew on a common body of non-sectarian knowledge that had been available from time immemorial. Both were responses to the needs of the time, looking into wisdom and its perennial. Again, I don't want to go into that. We have many other things to go. Sorry, that is paragraph 20. All right. Now, again, next paragraph number 21, small historical part only. It was the same wisdom which inspired a contemporary of the Buddha, Mahavira. He is also called Mahavira Buddha also. He also turned to yoga and applied his methodology to a dogmatic system that was austerely monastic and outside the tradition of Vedic orthodoxy, which resulted in Jainism. Alright? So Jainism was born. So what? Alright. Next paragraph, 22. In fact, each of the disparate elements of the Indian religious tradition are united by yoga. Yeah, of course. Okay. It is the hub around which they will revolve. They all revolve. Okay, yoga. So that is the ultimateness of yoga. So in the beginning he said it was present universally. Okay. Even before it was published or made popular like this, they are all revolved. The esoteric tantric cults of Bengal adopted yoga as a means of ecstasy, and it was their Barak, B-A-R-O-Q-U-E, what is that word, I don't know, form of the teaching which was to provide the techniques and the ritual for the various sects, SCCTS sects, both Hindu and Buddhist, which flourished and encapsulated in the remote Himalayan kingdoms. So it's all those who want. That means a lot of yogis were then settled in Himalayan kingdoms, that's all. Next paragraph. But yoga is not confined to the esoteric. Okay. At the other end of the Indian religious spectrum lie the great epics, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. Finalized at the beginning of the Christian era, they originated much earlier. The epics are the lifeblood of popular religions in the subcontinent, and their stories are told, sung or danced and acted by itinerant troops who travel in the length and breadth of the country even today. Alright, very true. Okay. Even films are made about Ramayana and Mahabharata. In many villages, that is still the main form of education, a kaleidoscopic mixture of history, myth and religious instruction. These epics proudly proclaim the exploits of the gods and heroes who practiced yoga and glorified in its power. So, the characters in Ramayana and Mahabharata, they are all about heroes who became heroes by super powerful magics of performances because of yoga. Okay. The best known of these legends of the 18th chapter of the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita or Song of God, is the god Krishna. So Krishna is the god of Mahabharata, who, has the legend of such powers developed by yoga. So people can have Krishna also as a symbol to conduct their journey of yoga. So, but here again story little diverse. In this, the god Krishna, the embodiment of divine love, you could have prayed love, okay, divine. So that is the centricity conformity element. Instructs Arjuna, who represents mankind, that's very divine, who represents mankind in the ancient teaching, alright? Okay. Krishna emphasizes that yoga is essential to bring harmony and success to daily life. He describes it as skill in action. Yoga karmanya kausalam. Yoga is skill in action for Krishna. That's a part in our GV also. We would like to develop the skills, at least creative analytical thinking skills, if not physical skills, I mean, not to attack anybody or not, to have the speed of response to manage the existence of oneself, speed of response of thought or action or doing and being. Now, skill in action. Suitable for all people, a middle way which avoids the extravagance of asceticism and the one and sensuality on the other. So that yoga, skill in action, is a little bit what you call mild. Okay? It can allow people to live the normal life, meanwhile tuning with the super level of consciousness realms. Similar in spirit to the teachings of Krishna were the movements of popular devotion which exploded in the Indian scene in the Middle Ages. It was the experience of the divine through yoga that galvanized the poets, saints and singers who danced their way so colorfully through the pages of medieval Indian history. Wow, what a beautiful writing. Okay. I read it again once again. It was the experience of the divine through yoga that galvanized the poets, saints and singers who danced their way so colorfully through the pages of medieval Indian history. Oh, children in India are still traditionally brought up on the stories of these devotees of God who instituted both religious and social reforms. People like Ramananda in the south, Kabir the humble weaver from Benares, Chaitanya from Bengal and Mirabai the beautiful Rajasthani princess. Alright, this much is enough for this video.